Hello, I'm Coercer, and we're watching games from ArtifactCup number 31. We have now arrived at the final round, which is round 5. So let's just jump in to the last two matchups, and we'll start with Ewok versus MuadDib. Ewok and MuadDib will be playing as the Coalition, and this round will be played on Thorin Crater. Now, as I've mentioned in the previous round, MuadDib has had to bail from this ArtifactCup, so we are a matchup short in these last two rounds. But nonetheless, this should be good matches. Ewok has just beaten me in the previous round, and we'll see how this Coalition versus Coalition matchup will go for these players. Oh, I am off target. There we go. Let's reveal all. Let's look at production. We'll be watching this from MuadDib's perspective. He has spawned in as the Coalition. Down here and on the opposite side of the map we have Ewok as the Coalition. So a mirror matchup is always interesting, since you can't really rely on the opponent's units behaving differently or your units having a distinct advantage over your opponent's units, like the dynamics between the LAVs and the sand skimmers, or assault ships versus AAVs. So this usually shows which player is just better at playing a specific race. But you know, it could also come down to who has more air and who hasn't got any AA. So we'll see how this plays out. MuadDib is building LAVs as fast as he can, and Ewok has gone for the support cruiser first, so this could be a window of opportunity for MuadDib, if he indeed intends to move out with these LAVs. It seems that as soon as he will have 6 LAVs, he will move out with these. There's the 5th one, and there's another one in production, and then he has 2 more salvagers queued up to go to that first bulkhead, while MuadDib is already moving out with that support cruiser to his first bulkhead, and he also has a salvager already queued up there. Ewok has an LAV out, and he will scout out the middle of the map, and MuadDib and Ewok will clash right in the middle of this map. And I'm pretty sure one LAV loses against 5 LAVs. But now Ewok knows what's up, and he does have an AV in production. Well, back home, MuadDib has just expanded to his first bulkhead. Although he is not yet mining with both those salvagers, he is a bit busy microing these LAVs, and he spots that AAV with the quite impressive sight range of these LAVs. Now there are 2 AAVs out, so MuadDib's window of opportunity is closing rather rapidly. Now he might have been able to outmaneuver that one AAV and just moved in here to try and kill some salvagers, or just generally disrupt Ewok's salvaging operation. But now these LAVs will just get picked off by those 2 AAVs, and it seems MuadDib will lose all but 2 of those. Yes, he loses another one, so he has 3 LAVs left, but there are just enough AAVs on the field to just cover all of Ewok's bases. And looks like MuadDib was investing into his LAVs. He is building a support cruiser, but I guess what he should have done as soon as he saw that there are significant number of AAVs out on the field. Could have just cancelled that upgrade, research carrier production, and still be building that support cruiser in the meantime. But at least he would have 2 queues available. He is going for railgun fabrication, which is a good answer against the AVs, of course. But it looks like Ewok will just move in with those 2 AAVs, and that could be very devastating for MuadDib. The AAVs have armor upgrades, so they're really tough for just point defense guns or LAVs. So MuadDib will have to position his carrier to either push around these AAVs or just deal as much damage as he can with that missile system on that carrier. Now these salvagers have full loads and they're just sitting there, and this will cost MuadDib if indeed they go down. Unfortunately enough, Ewok did split up his attacking force, so the support cruiser is just healing up that one salvager that's being attacked, and MuadDib has noticed that and just ordered those salvagers to go back to work. The other lone AV gets destroyed by the carrier, and it looks like MuadDib actually didn't lose any of his soldiers, and I was sure that MuadDib was in trouble here if those 2 AVs would have just stuck together and used their combined firepower on those salvagers. MuadDib's losses could have been much greater. Now Ewok has another support cruiser out on the field. He has built a base runner, and Ewok's other base runner is collecting the first artifact. It looks like MuadDib won't be able to catch that in time, so maybe there will be some action to contest this middle artifact here as soon as Ewok picks it up. It looks like MuadDib is going for a LAV and a railgun composition, especially since he did already invest both into armor and into LAV, the LAV boostability, so he's not going to give up on those units, even though those AVs are really good at dealing with them. The fact still remains that AAVs can be overwhelmed. A single AAV can target just one LAV and slow that one LAV down. So if enough LAVs do a drive-by, the AAVs can be rendered ineffective. And now MuadDib is looking for targets of opportunity. He is going to try and skirt around that AAV. He should have just kept going with his forces. He lost some time there maneuvering around, and if he'd use his boost ability right now, those railguns would go down. Ah, there we go. There's the boost. And the LAVs will reach those railguns and they will be in some trouble. But more supporting AVs come in from Ewok, and Ewok also has another pair of railguns here, but they can't quite fire on those LAVs due to that dune there. And it looks like Ewok will be able to secure his second artifact as well. Now these 2 railguns have quite a nice vantage point here over this center area, but it's probably a better idea to just put them up on this dune, or maybe one on this one, on that one, to make sure that he will have that high ground advantage should anything move across here. MuadDib is building up a large force. He has 3 AVs, 5 railguns and 2 LAVs in a group now, so it's like he is trying to maintain a diversity in his composition. He is upgrading the damage on his LAVs, so that will help the LAVs deal with the railguns. And if MuadDib will use the smoke screen ability, or the smoke grenade ability on his AVs, he could just pick apart these two separate forces. If he smokes here, those railguns won't be able to fire, and he would be able to move up here and put some pressure on those railguns, even though they can't fire from that position. So MuadDib decides to move through that ditch there. He's just going to deal as much damage as he can. Base Runner is getting annihilated by the command power of AVs and railguns, but now MuadDib is getting outflanked. Those railguns moved in, and MuadDib, there we go. He did switch targets to Ewok's exposed railguns, and it almost looks like MuadDib is winning this engagement, but then some boosted LEVs come in, and MuadDib is certainly going to lose both of those railguns. It seems like those railguns were keeping him alive in that engagement. The AVs were just soaking up damage, as much damage as they could. MuadDib is floating quite some resources at the moment. He is constructing more AVs and more LEVs. These two AVs are still alive. Well, they both have promotions. They're just going to be able to hide behind that dune, so those railguns, or indeed that railgun, doesn't take them out. And if MuadDib parks them close enough to that support cruiser, they will get healed up. So it's pretty nice there. He managed to save those two AVs, and it looks like he cleaned up all of those, all of the LEVs from Ewok. So good job there to MuadDib. Another artifact has been picked up by Ewok, and MuadDib really needs to start preventing Ewok from delivering these artifacts, or Ewok could move in with a powered up carrier, or just go for the remaining two artifacts that he needs to win an artifact capture victory. That looks like MuadDib is long distance mining from that location there, and just as MuadDib moves his entire army away from there, these three AVs come in to cause trouble, and those three AVs will have more than enough firepower to kill these salvagers. MuadDib is focusing all of his rallying here on that side. He really wants to protect his main, and now he has rerouted his railguns back, and as long as he'll have vision, he'll be able to burst down these AVs. Does he have the... yes, he does. He does have the damage upgrade for the railguns, but AVs really are just tough cookies to deal with. In the meantime, Ewok secures his third artifact, and MuadDib is taking the opportunity here while Ewok is probably a bit distracted with that engagement there. He moves out with a group of LEVs and AAVs, but it looks like he then just forgot about them. He could have used this opportunity to move in the center area and take out that railgun, and those AAVs could just slug it out against each other. It seems that the best way to make sure your opponent is on the back foot is just attack from multiple directions. Make sure your opponent doesn't have full control of the battlefield at all times. If you just focus on one attack route, and indeed one zone of engagement, it's quite easy to just focus on that and send the reinforcements to that one location. MuadDib had a good opportunity there to use that fight there to distract Ewok and then move in here and clean up that. He could have probably just cleaned up that railgun and that one AV, and then there were just more AVs there. And MuadDib could have just moved in there and tried to deal damage to that salvaging operation. Maybe he could have taken out a support cruiser. That would have Forced Ewok to construct another one, buying more time for MuadDib to catch up economy-wise. MuadDib now has a second support cruiser there, supporting his forces, but I'm afraid that MuadDib has overreached, and now he is getting punished by Ewok's artillery cruisers. And he is still moving in on that force, and if he's not careful, he's going to lose all of his units here. He should have been content that he managed to push off that base runner and forced Ewok to retreat. Maybe gone back and consolidated his forces a bit more. Now MuadDib is doing what we discussed earlier. He was moving in on another front, but since his force here got obliterated by those barrages from the artillery cruisers, that is a non-issue for Ewok right now. A railgun finally gets taken out. It looks like it was dealing constant damage to MuadDib's units as they move across the crater. Now finally these AVs will also get cleaned up. It looks like MuadDib did take out a logistics module here, so that's another good target to focus on if you're just trying to harass your enemy. And Ewok will deliver his 4th artifact, and Ewok's carrier is quite beefy now. He has power in the armor systems, he has power in the turret systems, and with that capture he can now even power up those ranged systems. As everyone knows, if you have a powered up carrier, don't forget to put points into the weapons range system if you're playing Coalition or Gaussian. That always helps, since then if something like this happens where you have full power in your weapon systems and just 1 pip in the range, your carrier is very powerful, but it can fire very far. MuadDib is trying to make something happen here by moving in with some railguns, but against this kind of composition you can't really just move in with a couple of units. It's just overwhelming firepower here. Ewok has 2 artillery cruisers, a missile battery, 2 AVs, and 8 railguns. Definitely needs something like artillery cruisers of your own, or a battle cruiser. Or you could just try to outflank these units with a large group of LAVs perhaps. You could basically overwhelm the AAVs, but don't target them down, just move in, kill the railguns, and then deal as much damage as you can to the artillery cruisers. Then perhaps move in with some supporting railguns, and Ewok, now having put more power into his range systems and with a fully powered up weapon system, which means that his weapons now deal 65% increased damage, as well as that great rate of fire increase. Ewok will be able to deal with anything MuadDib might have. If of course MuadDib will just send units around piecemeal. Those 2 assault cruisers won't really deal much damage to that group if indeed MuadDib is hoping to intercept that base runner, and it looks like we won't even get to see a carrier fight between these 2 players, as Ewok will secure an artifact capture victory by securing 5 artifacts. Or will he? It looks like he stopped that base runner. Maybe he just wants to have some fun with his OP coalition carrier. Look at all of those missiles streaming out from the carrier. And this will indeed be very painful for MuadDib here. He has just now noticed that carrier is on his doorstep, supported by railguns, AAVs. And this will be quite painful as soon as those railguns open fire on his carrier and you need a cruise missile. It just takes out a huge chunk of MuadDib's health, and support cruiser just goes down immediately. And with that, MuadDib is defeated. It certainly looked like MuadDib and Ewok were quite balanced there in the early and mid-game, I guess, but then just Ewok's better macro won him the game. He had more units on the field, and if you have more stuff on the field, that generally means you're doing very well and that you can win engagements. Of course, having a very dangerous carrier available to you is also a bonus. So Ewok wins over MuadDib, and we have one more matchup to look at, and that's me versus Tren. So thank you for watching.